Oh my goodness, it is the end of the year. 2016 is almost over, or if you're listening to this after 2016, it's already over. Today we're going to wrap up what we did this past year and give you some tips on setting your goals.
Welcome to the What Up Doc University podcast, your number one resource for total body wellness. Here's your host, Dr. Mike.
Well, we have wrapped up 2016. So by the time you guys are listening to this, it's probably the new year already. So my question to you is, how was your year? Was your year great? Was your year frustrating? Did you have victories? Did you have failures? You know, I know that a lot of the talk right now is looking back on 2016 and saying that it was one of the worst years ever. We've lost a lot of celebrity icons. You know, one of my favorite musicians, Prince, George Michael, Princess Leia. You know, she passed away. Her mother recently passed away. You know, and everybody's kind of like looking at this and just being down about all this. And I know a lot of people were, well, probably half the country, were kind of mad at the outcome of this past year's election. Other half was excited. So regardless of all of these things that have happened, I want to ask you, how was your year? You know, and nothing else really matters of what else is going on in anybody else's year except yours, right? I mean, it's your life. And that's the question I want you to answer is, how was your year? You know, did you, we're coming up on January 1st. If you're listening to this after January 1st, you've probably set some New Year's resolutions, right? Majority of you guys set New Year's resolutions at the beginning of this past year of 2016. And my question to you is, did you achieve those things? You know, the statistics have shown that people set their New Year's resolutions January 1st, and by like January 6th or 7th, they've already given up on it. And, you know, the year goes by and you wonder, what the heck has happened? And you get depressed. And then you say, okay, this year is my year. I hear so many people say that. This year is my year. I'm going to take it. I'm going to get wealthier. I'm going to get healthier. I'm going to improve all these things. But nothing really happens, you know, because people lose that drive. They lose that motivation. Life kind of gets in the way. And in today's episode, I wanted to give you the outline of how do I design my year? You know, and it's something that I've kind of developed over the years, seeing what works for me, what doesn't. And again, this is not going to be something that's going to be concrete for you, but it just forms a framework that you can work off of. Okay. So again, how was your year? Did you achieve the resolutions that you set? Did you even have any resolutions? You know, did you write those things down? Did you keep track of them? What were you doing on a daily basis to achieve those resolutions? Or were you like some of the other people? Are you part of that majority that gave up on January 6th or January 7th? You know, what were some of your victories this past year? Did you have any victories? You know, I know a lot of people have victories, but it often gets shrouded by some of the struggles and the obstacles that you faced. You know, I know for our family, there was a lot of great victories, but the one thing that keeps popping up in my mind was my grandfather recently passed away in August of this past year. And that was hard for me. You know, my grandmother was the driving force of why I started to do what I do in the healthcare field. You know, I saw her suffer. She passed away at a young age of 61. She was on dialysis. She had kidney failure, and I saw her health decline. And it motivated me to want to do something about that. Not necessarily for her, because it was too late by then, but for others, you know, to make sure that the information that's already out there is continued to pass on, you know, and that was my motivation. So now my grandfather, seeing him struggle and suffer and then pass away, it brought back memories of my grandmother, and all kinds of things came up. But I thought to myself, wow, I can get down on this, or I can choose to celebrate his life. I can choose to celebrate the things and relive and cherish the memories that I was able to forge with him. And that's how I choose to honor what he's done for me and the honor the life and legacy of both of my grandparents. So if you're going through struggles, it's part of life, guys. It's part of the deal. A lot of people get stuck in that rut and they let their life be defined by these struggles, and it becomes a part of their character. It becomes part of who they define themselves as and how they live their life. That don't let the struggles define who you are. All right, let's kind of move on. I wanted to recap what we did this past year as far as episodes and things that we were doing on the What Up Doc University podcast. I didn't get to do as many episodes that I wanted to do. One, because of time constraints, and two, just because of life got in the way. And I look back on it and I'm like, man, I wish I could have done more. And I know a lot of you guys are saying the exact same thing. I know you may be looking back on your year and you're saying, I wish I could have done more. I wish I shoulda. But that's not what we want to focus on, because you can't change the past. You can only focus on what you're doing right now. Okay. And that's one of the things we want to go over. So we had some great episodes this past year. I had a lot of guest speakers on the podcast. Episode 25, we started off at the beginning of the year with Christie Miller. She talked about the new year and a new you. Go back and listen to the episode. Some great tips on starting off the year, on the right foot. Some great tips there. So if you want to get a refresh on what you should be doing as the new year starts, go back, listen to episode 25. Episode 26, we had Shawn Stevenson, the Model Health Show guy. He talked about his book, Sleep Smarter, some great tips there. Episode 27, we had Dr. Lori Shemek. She talked about emotional eating and the connection of the emotion, the mind to the body, and how it links to, people overeating and that state of obesity. And she has a great book called Fatflammation. Go check it out. Episode 28 was our first in the series of interviewing people who have gone through the depths of health ailments and came back out of it. So episode 28 was with Kristen Sullivan and her journey back to health. Episode 29 was with Dr. Romie, and she was talking about being stressed out and some of the tips and tricks that she uses and she recommends for decreasing stress in your life. Episode 30, reversing diabetes naturally. Episode 31, hormones and breast cancer. That was a really good one. Episode 32 was with Sean Kupiec and Recovery Pump. I love the Recovery Pump, the compression boots that compress your legs and give you that. It squeezes out all that built up lactic acid, increases circulation. Episode 33. My gosh, this has been a very popular episode and people talking about this episode a lot. This was The Truth About Cancer with Ty Bollinger. If you have no idea who Ty Bollinger is, you got to go and watch his series, The Truth About Cancer. If you go to the What Up Doc University website, whatupdocuniversity.com, and you look on the right side, you're going to see a link where you can actually start watching the 9-part series, The Truth About Cancer. And oh my gosh, this thing will blow your mind, because there's so many things out there for cancer. And we got a couple episodes that I'm going to be doing about cancer, about what I talk with my patients. And this series is eye-opening, very informative, and something that I think everybody should watch, whether or not you have cancer, whether or not you want to. I think this is something that everybody should be watching. It's kind of like breathing. You should watch this one. What we got? Episode 34 was the second part of the series of, interviewing people who came back from health. This was the road back from cancer with Kim. Kim, oh my gosh, she has such a great story, and it spoke to a lot of people who have gone through cancer, going through cancer, or have a family member who is going through it, because she talks about her struggles and what she did to keep herself, especially the mindset, and that's the biggest part, is the mindset, what she kept herself going. And episode 35 with Dr. Jolene Brighton is how to have a healthy and natural pregnancy. And I can't stress this enough, how much of our health is dependent upon mom's pregnancy, because mom is growing us. So if mom has a healthy pregnancy, then we're going to have a healthy start in life. So having a healthy pregnancy is so important. Now, I want to switch gears a little bit and we're going to talk about our goal setting. We're going to talk about how to properly set these goals for the next year and how you're going to actually achieve them. All right, let's go. Okay, so there's 6 areas in your life that I believe, and this is what I do, is what I focus on. The 6 areas in your life that you should be setting goals for. And a lot of people only set goals for like 1, maybe 2. And I see a lot of people leading an empty life just because they achieve these goals. Because the fact of the matter is, if you set a goal and you focus on it, you're going to achieve it. Okay. But what happens to a lot of people is that they achieve the goals and then they feel an emptiness because there's more to life than being healthy. There's more to life than being financially free. There's a bigger picture. So these are the 6 key areas that I like to focus on and map things out. Okay. So number 1 is your physical health. I truly believe that without your health, your physical health, nothing else matters, right? Because you could have 10s on all of these different areas, but your physical health may be a 1 or a 2, and that really affects everything else. Because you could have a super nice car, super nice house, but if your health is a 0 or a 1, you can't enjoy those things. You can't spend time with the people that you love in your life because you're only concerned about your health and getting your health back. So number 1 was your physical health. Number 2 is your personal life. Okay, how is your personal life going? Is it in shambles? Is it great? I don't know. Number 2, personal health. Personal life, I'm sorry. First one was physical health. Second was personal life. Number 3 was your relationships. Okay, so relationships can be, and this is a big one for a lot of people that I see in my office, is that holding grudges or damaged relationships, and we all have them, by the way. Holding these grudges and holding these failed relationships or fallouts, it really takes a toll upon your health. So focusing on relationships, do you spend as much time with your loved ones as you want to? Do you have a friend that you maybe had a falling out with that you need to reconnect with or repair that relationship with? So number 3 is relationships. Number 4, your job or your businesses that you run. How is that? How's that going? Number 5 is your finances. This is one thing that a lot of people set their goals on. I'm going to make an extra $10,000 a year, or this year I'm going to make $100,000. And people set these financial goals. But remember what I said. It's about a complete picture, a total body wellness. That's what we're focused on in this podcast, is total body wellness. And then the 6th one is your spiritual health. Okay, a lot of people misconstrue religious and spirituality. There's 2 different things. I see people in my practice where their spiritual health is really low, but they tell me, "But doc, I go to church every week. I go to church every Sunday. How can my spiritual health be low?" Well, there's a difference between spirituality and religion. Okay. And I'm not going to get into what you should be doing as far as religion, because that's a losing battle. But we want to talk about spiritual health. And the spiritual health it's a higher level of consciousness, and it's really connecting and having that higher level of awareness, realizing that we are more than just our physical body, and looking at things in the world as more than their materialistic manifestation. So that's what when we're talking about the spiritual health, is really opening up your consciousness and opening up your awareness. Okay, so I'm going to recap your 6 areas of focus: physical health, personal life, relationships, jobs, businesses, finances, and your spiritual health. Now, what I've done is I've put together a little worksheet for you. So if you go to the show notes, okay, if you go to show notes, whatupdocuniversity.com/episode 36, it's going to be there in the show notes. Okay, so there's a little worksheet and it has these 6 areas, and then it has the things that we're going to go over right now. Okay. So now when you got the time and you got the worksheet out, if you're just, if you're on the road listening to this, don't take out the worksheet. If you're exercising, don't take out the worksheet. But when you got the time, go and get that worksheet out. And then we're going to go through the 6 areas. But here's the way that I structure my things out of how I'm going to achieve these goals that I set. Okay. So the first thing I want you to write down in each of these areas is basically, where are you at currently? Where are you at in your physical health? Where are you at in your finances? Where are you at in your relationships? You want to get a baseline measurement. Where are you at? Now, how are you going to measure this? Yeah, you know what? I like to do things very, quantitatively. So I use a scale from 0 to 10, okay? And 0 being very, very poor, and 10 being, you know what? This is the best that it's gonna get. This is awesome. I can't imagine things getting any better. The nirvana of these areas. So where are you currently at? So say your physical health. Maybe your physical health needs some work, right? You want to get a little slimmer. Maybe you want some more energy. So you probably rate that maybe at a 4 or 5. Okay. Finances. Maybe you'd like to make a little bit more money, or maybe you make a lot of money, but you want to figure out what to do with that money. You rate that maybe a 7, and go down the list. And then for each one, you're going to write down where you're currently at. Now you're going to see that in these 6 different areas, you're going to have different ratings. So one area may be a 10 and another area may be a 4. And if you have one area that's lacking, ultimately, right, it's like the weakest link in the chain is what's going to break it all. So if you have one area that's really lacking, maybe that's one area that you should focus on. I see a lot of people, they tend to, one thing that they tend to neglect is their relationships. They tend to, and when I say relationships, look at your relationships and think, can I go deeper in this relationship? Because when we look at relationships, a lot of times we think, well, I talked to this person, or, I saw this person the other day, or I connected with them, or I seen them on Facebook and I messaged them, or I text them. I want us to go deeper into relationships, really get to know and connect with another person. That's one of the goals for me that I'm going to set is looking at my relationships and then diving deeper and connecting with the person, right? That's different than messaging or communicating with a person. I want each of us to get to the level of connection. So let's focus on that relationship part, okay? So go through your worksheet, ask yourself, where are you at currently? Then the next question you have to answer is, where do you want to be? If you are at a 5, where do you want to be? All right, everybody wants to be at a 10, right? But then you got to really look at it. Is it realistic for me to be at a 10 right now? If my health right now is at a 0, is it realistic that my health will be a 10? And then the next key component is, when will you get there? Okay. So where do you want to be and when? Okay. So say, your health is at a 0, and then you say, okay, I want my health to be at a 7. I'm doing this on January 1st. I'm setting my goals. I want to be at a level 7, say by June 1st of 2017, or whatever year you guys are listening to this in. Okay. So you know where you're starting from, you know where you want to be, and you know when you want to be there. Okay. So you're quantifying it. You're giving yourself a deadline. Those are very important things. Now, another one that a lot of people miss in setting goals is asking yourself, well, what will it mean to myself when I get there, when I achieve the goal? What will it mean to me? So one of the questions I ask about into my patients about their goals is, well, you know, I actually ask them, you're in your current state of health, what is it not allowing you to do or to be? And then I ask them, what will it mean to you when you get there? Okay, so for example, physical health. My physical health is at a 0. I want to be at a 7 by June 1st, 2017. What it means to me by getting myself to a level 7 on my physical health will mean that I will be able to spend more time with my grandkids and be able to roll around on the floor or go out on a cruise with my family so that I can create and forge more memories. Okay, so that's something. What will it mean to you when you get there? That's the thing I want you guys to hold and write that down. So where you're currently at, where you want to be, when, and what will it mean to you when you get there? Okay. Then you want to ask yourself, well, what are some of the resources I'm going to need to accomplish this goal? Maybe I need a personal trainer. Maybe I need a coach, a health coach to guide me along for my physical health goals. In my relationships, maybe I need to take a trip to that person because they live far away from me. I don't know. Figure out what are some of the tools. And this is why I say it takes a lot of mental effort to achieve goals, because you got to know what you want to achieve. And then you got to map that out on how you're going to do it. So you're going to sit down, you're going to ask yourself, what are the resources that I'm going to need? Right? Maybe in your business, you want to make an extra $10,000. Okay, what will it take for me to make an extra $10,000? Oh, maybe I need more exposure. Okay, how do I get more exposure? What are the tools and resources I'm going to need for that? And then sit down and then write those things out. Think it out. Okay, and then after you've written out all the things, the resources that you'll need, then ask yourself, in the course of trying to get to these so-called goals, what are some of the obstacles that I'm going to face? Okay, so maybe you wanted to deepen a relationship with someone, and you say your resources are, I'm going to take a plane trip out there. Maybe some of the obstacles is, I don't have enough money to buy the plane ticket. Okay? Or maybe the person doesn't want to talk to me. Or maybe, I don't know where they live. So those are some of the obstacles. Then you have to answer those obstacles with, how are you going to overcome them? I don't have enough money to get on the plane flight. Well, let's go and figure out solutions to that obstacle. Maybe I could get an extra job. Maybe I could go recycle some things. Maybe I could sell some stuff on eBay. Maybe I could whatever. But you got to figure out a solution. Always come from a sense or a space of being solution oriented. Okay. Write down for each obstacle how you're going to overcome them. And then create your plan of action. And the key to plan of action is action, right? A lot of people just stick with the plan. They've written all this out. They maybe have their goals written down, but they never take action on them. So in order to achieve these goals, you need to take action upon them. Okay? So how are you going to do that? Well, here's what I want you guys to do. If you're driving, please don't do this. If you're exercising, you don't have to do this as well. But if you're just listening to this or come back and listen to this at another time, I want you guys to go with me. I'm going to sit you guys down. I want you guys to close your eyes. Okay, find a quiet place. Close your eyes. You're going to sit down, fold your legs, cross your legs together. I want you guys to place your hands on your lap with your palms facing up. Relax your shoulders. Okay, take a deep breath in through your nose. You're going to take a deep breath in. Exhale through your mouth. You're going to do this 3 times. Okay, deep breath in through your nose. Exhale through your mouth. And then I want you to just slowly relax your mind. Slowly relax your mind. Start from the top of your head. And then I want you to just visualize yourself contracting your head muscles, and then relax it Then work down to your shoulders. Relax those. Contract your abdomen. Relax that. Contract your low back. Relax that. Work all the way down to your toes. Okay, so I want you to get into a state of relaxation. So start from the top of your body, work all the way down, contract, relax, until you feel that you're completely relaxed. Because what we want to do is we want to get into a state of total relaxation so that we can get into our visualization state. Okay, so now once you're totally relaxed, I want you to start visualizing your goals that you have set into place for this year, for each of those 6 areas. So I want you to look at your physical goal. I want you to visualize what it looks like to you. I want you to feel yourself in that state. Maybe you have an illness. Maybe you have aches and pains. I want you to visualize yourself running around, pain-free. Maybe you want to lose 10, 15, 30 pounds. I want you to visualize your body, your physical body in that state. Maybe you have a terminal illness like cancer or another type of illness. I want you to visualize a total healing in your body. I want you to visualize your body repairing itself and just going through and getting your body back to where it wants to be. In your personal life, what kind of things do you want to happen in your personal life? Visualize that. In your relationships, I want you to visualize yourself in the relationships. I want you to visualize yourself connecting with the person, sitting with them. I want you to visualize your heart connecting with their heart. Okay? I want you to visualize your businesses. What do you want your businesses to be? What do you want your job to be like? Put yourself doing those things and seeing yourself in those actions. What does your finances look like? I want you to visualize your finances. What number is popping up to you that you would love to appear into your bank account? And then your spiritual life. What do you want in your spiritual life? So visualize that. Okay. I want you guys to do this visualization exercise every single day. Make it a routine. And that's what we're going to get into is how do you make this a routine in your life? Okay. So do this visualization on a daily basis. Now, what you're going to do is you're going to take that piece of paper. You've got it all filled out. If you haven't, go and fill it out. If you need a refresher, just go back, rewind the podcast, go back and start listening to some of the explanations of how to fill that out, why you need to fill that out, and do that. And then what you're going to do, now you have a template, you have a blueprint of what you want to accomplish in this next year. Now what you're going to do is you're going to get out the number one app that I use on a daily basis to achieve goals. Okay, so you have the blueprint, but now this is one that I know a lot of people miss, is your calendar. And those who know me and those who know me best know that I'm a stickler about the calendar. I've always been since I was in grade school, is everything goes by the calendar. If it's not on the calendar, it doesn't matter. Okay? Yeah, I shouldn't say it doesn't matter, but it's not as important because this is what you want to map out. So you look at your goals, and then what you do is on a daily basis, you have to map out on a daily basis that you are taking action daily now on each of those 6 areas. So you need to be having some type of activity that's related to accomplishing those goals. Now, you're not going to get from where you are to where you want to be in one day. If you are, then your goal is too small. It's going to take daily action that you are going to improve upon yourself. So, for example, you look at your calendar and it says 7 o'clock in the morning. Well, maybe you can dedicate half an hour towards doing some type of physical activity. Maybe you can structure out what you're going to be having for breakfast, what you're going to be eating throughout the day. Okay, so I structure out my entire day from waking up to feeding my brain, for something that can improve my business, that can improve my personal life, my spiritual life. I'm always mapping out so that I'm doing something to achieve one of these 6 areas. And every single slot in your calendar has to be filled up. Okay? Has to be filled up with an action that you're going to take to accomplish those goals. And again, guys, this is one of the big reasons why a lot of people have no idea what they're going to be doing in their life, is because they don't plan it out and they don't map it out. So take some time, map out your calendar. I usually like to do this on a weekly basis. I map out the big things, the things that I want to accomplish for the entire year. So I take the time, I map out what I want to be accomplishing, what are the big events that I'm going to be attending, what are the big events that I need to maybe plan out that I want to do. When you look at family vacations, learning opportunities, what am I doing as far as events for my businesses? What am I doing as far as maybe, you have events like, I know some of my friends do marathons. You gotta put all those on the calendar, and then you're gonna get back onto a daily basis of what am I going to be doing on a daily basis to accomplish those things. Okay. So on your calendar, you should also be putting down the date of when you want to achieve the things that you set out to do. Okay. So like I said, for your personal health, maybe you want to get your personal health from a 0, a 1 to a 7 by June 1st. So make sure you go on your calendar on June 1st, you're putting down my health is at a level 7. Okay. So then from January 1st to June 1st, you have to be doing one thing for each of these categories. Or I should be saying you should be doing an activity for that category to get you to a level 7. Okay. There shouldn't be any white space on your calendar. It's the big takeaway, guys. No white space on your calendar. Now, here's the other thing. This is one of the obstacles that's going to really hinder people from accomplishing their goals, is distractions. And sometimes distractions come in the form of well-meaning things. Okay. You have to learn how to say no to almost everything if it doesn't relate to the actions and the goals that you want to be taking part of. Okay, so you may have things that come into your life that may seem really good. I had to learn this. It took me a long time. I had to learn how to say no to a lot of things, because I found that I was doing things and saying yes to a lot of things that really just were distractions from me achieving my goals. But it seemed like it wasn't like these distractions were frivolous things. These distractions, it seemed like it was pertinent, and it may be pertinent, but not at this time. And that's what happens to a lot of people, is that they feel, why am I not accomplishing my goals? Why am I not living the life I'm at? Well, it's because you're partaking in activities that don't pertain to the goals that you set. That's plain and simple. So case in point is I set a couple goals a few years ago, and then what happened was some things came up like, hey, do you want to speak at this event? Or do you want to go to XYZ place? And it looked like, wow, this would be a great chance to get more exposure. It may help me and build my business and all these things. And I look back on it and I'm like, oh my gosh, 1, those things never did what I thought it was going to do. And 2, it distracted me and it took time away from me doing the things that I actually needed to do to accomplish my goals. And that happens a lot. So you have to be cognizant of all the things that come into your life and making sure that these pertain to the goals that you set. So you guys kind of seeing how important it is that when you set the goals, the importance of actually setting the goal in the first place, and then how that relates to your daily activities. And then learning to say no to all of these other distractions that come into your life. A lot of people ask me, hey, Doc, how do you get so much done? And how are you involved in all of these different things? And it really is, you know what? I really don't do a lot. I just focus on a few things that pertain to the goals that I set. And I just do those things. You know, I don't wash my car. Not none of my car's dirty, but I have somebody else that does that. You know, I delegate tasks that don't push me towards my goal. If there is a task that's pertinent to me achieving a goal, I'm going to be doing that. I also plan out my day. Okay. So every morning I wake up, I do a little meditation, I get myself ready, get my mind ready, and then I'm looking at my calendar. I want to see what is my day going to look like. And then once you see what your day is going to look like, you got to see it in your mind. See yourself in those actions and doing those actions. Take about 5-10 minutes and visualize yourself doing and performing those actions, and what are the outcomes of you doing that. So visualize yourself doing the exercise. Visualize yourself eating that food, that right food that's going to fuel your body. Visualize yourself making that connection with that person for the relationship. Visualize yourself, earning more money. Visualize yourself, whatever it is, but always put it in the forefront, and it's according to what's going to be happening that day, and then take action. Okay, don't just be that person who just sits on the couch visualizing and saying, "Oh, I'm just doing the law of attraction, and a big Ferrari is gonna pop up in my garage." No, that the first part is visualizing it, but the second part and the biggest part is taking action. Okay, nobody's gonna get healthier by sitting on a couch and visualizing it. It's part of it, but I'm not saying it's not all of it. So you got to take action. Okay, so that's one of the big things, taking action. So recap again. Go fill out the sheet, make sure that you got all of those 6 areas filled out, and then plan out your year. Then narrow it down to a daily action plan. Fill out your calendar, no white space. Everything has to be on your calendar. If other distractions come in, or other things come in, you have to ask yourself, is it a distraction or does it fit into my plan? If it does, put it in. If it doesn't, you got to say no. All right. So hopefully you got some tips from how to set goals for this year. Let me know. Let me know what you guys are doing. Post it up on Instagram. Tag us at WDU Podcast. WDU Podcast. Tag us on your photos on Instagram. Take a picture of your worksheet. Tag it. Put it up on Facebook. Tag us at the What Up Doc University Podcast Facebook page. And I wanted to give you guys a recap of the top 10 episodes. So I was blown away by this list. So here it is. So this is just the stats I'm pulling off of the podcast player, and it's showing me these statistics. So these are the top 10 episodes. So number 10 is episode number 19, which was part 2 of our discussion for the vaccination law, SB 277. And I didn't know that was going to be one of the top 10 episodes, but it was number 10. Number 9 was episode 21, which is the balance your hormones naturally. So that was a favorite one for a lot of people. Number 8 was episode 22, hormones and pregnancy. Number 7 is episode 33, the truth about cancer. I thought that was going to be higher up the scale, but I'm going to give it some time. I think that one's gonna outpace a lot of the other ones. 6 was episode 23, which is the hormone masterclass. 5 was a New Year with Christie Miller, episode 25. Number 4 was episode 20, which is the detoxification masterclass. That was a fun one. Was it number 3 is episode 34, which is the road back from cancer, with Kim. I kind of knew that was going to be a very popular one because, her episode blew it out of the water, and her story is just amazing. Number 2, this was a surprising one for me, was episode 24, healing leaky gut. Apparently, people are very, very interested in healing the leaky gut. And the number one episode on the podcast till this day, I mean, this one is beating out the rest of the episodes by like a landslide. And this was episode number 4, all about pH. And it really shows me that people are interested in pH and people kind of understand that, or they want to understand that and understand the correlation of balancing out your pH and your health. And that was actually kind of surprising to me, take a look at that. I thought people were going to be, head over heels over, learning the truth about cancer. But hey, pH has a very important role that it plays in cellular function, and cellular dysfunction, by the way. So those are the top 10 episodes. Hey guys, I wanted to thank you guys from the bottom of my heart for listening to this podcast. All the emails and the comments that I get from people all around the world. Apparently there's lots of people listening in different parts of the country, and thank you guys for listening to me and our guests speak and share the things that we have been given by our mentors. And what I wanted for you guys in 2017, what I wanted to do for you guys in 2017 is really bring you guys the most information of what we know now to be true for health and wellness, because I believe that health is our number one asset that we can have. So my goal is to make this world a healthier place in 2017, and it starts with the individual. It starts with you taking charge of your health, and it starts with knowing where you are, where you want to go. So if you guys could really set your goals, set those things in place, and then take action upon that, it starts with you, and then you will be that inspiration for your friends and family, and it'll spread like wildfire. Because the state of the health in our country, in our families, it's a really bleak state. And we got to do all that we can to get that back up. Because if we have a healthy person, we have a healthy family. Healthy families make healthy communities. Healthy communities make healthy cities. Healthy cities turn into healthy states, which turn into healthy countries. If we have a lot of healthy countries, we have a healthy world. And a healthy world means that we are all living and expressing the full potential that's inborn within our bodies, and that we were given, to serve one another and have happiness, liberty, right, in this world. So, guys, I bid you a farewell for this year, 2016, over and out. If you guys loved what we're doing in the podcast, we would appreciate leaving us a 5-star review. Go to our iTunes channel and leave us a 5-star review and give us your thoughts. Until next time, we are going to be giving you some great episodes coming up in 2017 podcasts. We got some episode about gout. We got some episodes about the mechanisms of cancer, weight loss, and everybody's going to be interested in weight loss in 2017, the beginning of the year. Tons and tons of episodes that we got planned for you. So stay tuned. Make sure you guys like and subscribe the podcast. Share this with your family and friends. Share it on social media. Share it on email. But until we speak again next time, be well and aloha.